What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Jay and Will Show. Got a special play-in edition of the Jay and Will Show. Obviously, I'm Jay, and I got my co-host Will with me. What's going on, bro?
What up, chilling?
And we got our special guest, man, the man that's gonna induct Chris Paul into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame.
You know what I'm saying? Right now. Right now, why he's playing.
We got Thomas, right, man. What's going on, bro?
What's going on with you, fellas? What's going on with you?
Chilling.
So, we got the play-in tournament coming up before the actual start of playoffs this weekend. And so we wanted to hop on and just discuss the state of where that is from the Eastern and Western Conference perspective, and just kind of talk about predictions, where we think is going to end up and who will end up being the 7th and 8th seed for each of the respective conferences. The draw is probably in the West, so we're going to start with the East to kick it off. Before we go into specifics, I did want to just kind of go over how the play-in tournament works, because it's a little bit different, I think, from how it went last year. So this year, obviously, we have the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th seeds, just like last year. The biggest difference is the way it's set up currently. You have the 7 that's playing the 8 initially, and then you have the 9 seed playing the 10 seed. The winner of the 7 seed versus 8 seed game becomes a 7 seed, and they're in the playoffs. The winner of the 9 and the 10 seed game plays the loser of the 7 and 8 seed game. Those two teams play to figure out who's going to actually be the 8th and final seed that makes it into the playoffs. So I actually like this format a little bit more. It's kind of difficult if you don't understand it, but actually the way they have it played out does make it more competitive, because it's like, okay, they're actually getting the extra game out of it instead of just having like 7 play the 8 and then 9 play the 10. They spread it out a little bit. So I respect it from a financial perspective, and it's actually really dope. So what we'll do now is get right into the Eastern Conference. So for those that aren't aware, the Boston Celtics are the 7th seed in the East, and they would play the Washington Wizards, who are the 8th seed in the East, which who would have saw it like 3 months ago? That's crazy.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody, right? So
either team, too. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And then the 9 seed in the East is the Indiana Pacers, and they'll be playing the 10th seed, which is the Charlotte Hornets. So we'll jump into the 7-8 matchup, which is Boston versus Washington. And we'll let our guests kick it off. Thomas, how you see that one playing out?
Hey, man, like we said, you don't see the Wizards a couple months ago even being in it.
No.
And then you don't see Boston falling so far to number 7, maybe 4 or 5 for them, but not number 7.
Right.
Yeah. But they got that right now, Boston got Brown out too. So it's going to be a hard battle for me. It's going to let us show if this really Jason team. You know what I'm saying? If he can control it, if Kemba kind of, play a little more. I did like the addition of Tristan Thomas, you know what I'm saying? But, we're just playing, they playing really like they the 10th seed trying to get into this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? They're showing a lot of heart. Triple-double, man, is there. Is that enough for one game? It might be enough for one game. For a whole series with Westbrook and Bill, 7-game series, we don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm a toss up, just because this will make or break Jason right here. This Tatum, this gonna make or break him, man. If he could actually lead a team, we know he don't got his sidekick with Brown, and Brown was doing crazy numbers this year again. Just putting the team on. He was scoring a lot more defense. Just playing, 2-man basketball. 2-way player, man. He was doing his thing. Then you look at the Wizards. Really, they literally just got a 1-2 punch. You know what I mean? Just to be honest with you, it is what it is, and that's cool. That's cool. They got a 1-2 punch. Just to switch over real fast. If you think about the Wizards, they almost, for lack of better words, they're almost like Portland. You really just got CJ and Dillard. But Portland kind of have 1 or 2 extra people that could go and get them another bucket every night. You know what I'm saying? They got Carmelo, they got O'Boy. They'll get you 1 or 2 extra buckets. Wizards really don't got that. We'll just be honest with you. Wizards ain't got that. So it's a toss up for me. I think if Jason, if he get on good Tatum get on a good roll, man, Boston should put it out even with Brown out, just because it's just one game. So I'm gonna say Boston in the 8th seed. I mean the 7th seed.
Okay. Will, what you got?
Okay. I got Washington winning this one. They've basically been in full playoff mode for basically 3 months straight.
Yeah.
Like for them to even get to this point, it's been like, because they got hit hard with COVID too, just like the Mavericks and a few other teams. So plus the injuries, Bill was out for a while, Russ was out.
Yeah.
So it's been, for the past like 3.5 months, it's been just basically playoff basketball for them, even to get to this point. And then when it comes to Boston, they've been struggling down the stretch, especially having Brown out, and they was actually struggling before Brown went out. So it's going to be tough for them. So that's why I got Wizards winning this one. So I got Washington getting that 7th seed right there.
Yeah, I actually agree. Only reason why is because Boston's defense has been atrocious. Like I don't know what.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know what's going on with that. And obviously, like y'all both mentioned, having Jaylen Brown now doesn't help that.
Yeah.
But even with him being in the lineup, they struggled on defense for whatever reason. You got Marcus Smart there, supposed to be, a defensive anchor. Obviously, Jaylen Brown's a good defender. Tatum's up and down with his, his defensive abilities. You look at
their center
to be a great defender. For some reason they just let people just go off on them, and I haven't really understood that, because that's not normally how it's been for them. And they didn't necessarily lose anybody to explain why there's such a drop off from like this year and previous years. So it's kind of bizarre. I don't know if it's a issue with Brad Stevens kind of losing the locker room, so to speak, where they're just not as dialed in. I don't know what the issue is. It's kind of bizarre, to be honest with you, but for whatever reason, they haven't been able to be that defensive team that they normally have been. They weren't necessarily the best defensive team in the world, but they weren't as bad as they have been this year for whatever reason. So
that's true.
I think that's the issue. And I think if I'm looking at both those rosters, I'm looking at Bradley Beal and Rusty on one end, and I got Jason Tatum and whoever else at this point on the other end, say it's one game. I'm tossing the ball up center court. Go get this win. I'm looking at the Wizards and saying they're ready to do it and more prepared to do it, at least against this lineup more than Boston is. So I think for that reason, if they played in a 7-game series, I think the answer would probably be different.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's just one game, like a win and get in type of thing, I'm taking Rusty and Bradley Beal over Jason Tatum, because Boston is not at full strength. And even when they were at full strength, they were struggling. So I think they're the hot team. Like Thomas said, they remind me a lot of what the Blazers were last year. Like Dame just took over and just was like, we getting in here. They gave us a chance to get in here, so we getting in here. And I feel like Bradley Beal, I think he came back before the season ended from the hamstring. So I think he's in the lineup. And obviously Rusty's being Rusty. So I think those two together will just be too much for Boston on recover and a winner go home type thing. So in that particular lineup, or that particular matchup rather, I have the Wizards winning. So if that goes, depending on who, in Thomas's scenario, Thomas has Boston winning. So in that situation, the Wizards would play the winner of whoever wins between New Orleans. I'm sorry, I keep saying New Orleans Hornets, the Charlotte Hornets and the Indiana Pacers. So we'll drop down to that 9-10 matchup. And Thomas, between Indiana and the Hornets, who you got winning that one?
Man, listen, it might not be out the blue, but I think the Hornets might pull it out, man. I think the Hornets might. I'm looking at the standings too, man. The Hornets might. The Hornets really might come back and beat the Pacers, man. For some reason, just like everybody else, I'm on Ball team this year, man. I think he's playing really good ball as a rookie, man. I think he could do some stuff, man, and which made it more important once they put him in the starting lineup, man, and Bridges over there and they just playing real good basketball. I mean, for that team, I just say for that team, that young team, they playing good basketball, and they might be able to sneak in, and and try to get that final 8 spot, and it's only up for there. Not saying that the Pacers can't do what they could do. But I don't know. You got Turner, you got Brogdon, you got the Holiday Boys brothers. Oh boy, you know,
Sabonis.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sabonis, you know, Sabonis,
he can
man.
get it.
Sabonis is the beast, man.
Yeah,
Sabonis, if he get
them
hot,
points.
he get them points, get them rebounds, and just stand in the middle like he gonna play defense. What he don't, but I might change my answer now. Just talking to you, you know what I'm saying?
Talk yourself out of it.
Yeah, I talk myself out of it. God damn, man, I'm gonna go with the Pacers, man. Say,
this one is gonna be close.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Pacers, man. I'm gonna go with the Pacers. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Pacers. I got the Pacers.
All right, well, I'm gonna stick with you then. Since your 7-8 matchup is a little different than ours, I'm gonna kind of stick to your side of things and say, since you got Boston winning that game, the Wizards will obviously then have to play the Pacers if you're picking the Pacers,
right,
to get that A seed. So between the Wizards and the Pacers for that A spot, who do you see coming down?
I think if it's Boston, if it's the Wizards and the Pacers, I'm thinking defense. Brogdon played the defense. Yep. The Holiday Boys played the defense. I'm not saying they're gonna stop Bill and Westbrook, but ain't nobody on the Wizards who can stop Sabonis. And then Miles Turner, he does play interior defense. And, he does play interior, and they don't really got a big like that. So if it's that, like that, I'm gonna go with Pacers again. I think it go down to the wire, but I think they got enough of offsetting each other where it might come down to Sabonis, man. It might come down to Sabonis. It might come down to some defense at the end, Turner doing some stuff, and them Holiday Boys. I can't think of the other dude's name on his team right now on Pacers, but maybe I don't like the Wizards. I don't know. I keep picking them to lose. Yeah, I'm gonna say the Pacers again for me.
Well, okay. I do want you to know, looking at Washington's schedule, I think they did sweep the Pacers this year, though.
Okay.
So just FYI.
Already.
So just FYI.
So question for is TJ Warren still in the league? Like, what happened?
This dude is hurt or something, man.
Is he hurt?
That's all I can think of. I think he got hurt early, man.
Okay.
I think he got hurt early.
Okay. Because I was just like, everybody was like, he bought the ball. And I'm like,
and he ain't been here all year.
I ain't seen him. I no shade. If he hurt, he hurt. But I'm just like, that's on there. Everybody's talking about the bubble outside of him and Dame. And like, we got back to real life and I ain't hurt.
Yeah, I think he got hurt. I'm thinking he got hurt, man.
Okay, we'll roll with that then. That's cool. Okay. So Thomas is final 7-8. You got the Boston Celtics win a 7 seed, and then you had the Pacers win an 8 seed.
Right.
All right. Well, let's go back to the other side of things. Obviously, you mentioned that you picked the Wizards to win the 7 seed. So that means you would have Boston playing whomever you decide to be the winner of the 9-10 matchup. So take a step back. Who do you have winning 9-10 matchup between the Hornets and the Pacers?
I think this was going to be a tough one, just like Thomas was saying. I think they're closely matched. If Ball didn't get hurt, I think it would have been an easy Rookie of the Year win for him. The injury brought him back towards the pack. You got Sabonis in Indiana. Like, when he put it together, he puts it together. Like, offense, defense. Like, oof.
Tough.
It's a hard one.
Yeah,
man.
it's a tough one.
Hard, man. Just thinking about it.
Oof. And it's only because I feel like the only reason why Charlotte is down here is because Ball got hurt. Like, when he was healthy, they were a top 16.
Number 5 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, up until that injury, then it was just up and down, and then him trying to figure it out. I think for this one game, with it just being one game, I got Charlotte for this one. I think they can put it together just for this one game to be able to live another day. So then they been Boston and Charlotte. I think Boston can put it together. They would have had that first game, end up taking the L to Washington, but I think that with them getting the second game in, they'll be more prepared, or even play a better game to where they'll be able to close out Charlotte to pull out that number 8 spot.
Okay, so you got Washington being the 7th seed and then Boston being the 8th seed.
Yeah, I think Tatum would end up going for about 50 to get them into the
he
would have to, I think.
In that last game to beat Charlotte, I think he's going to drop 50 to 60 to get them into that playoff spot. Because that's what he was it though, like San Antonio, that comeback that they did, he dropped 60. Then I think he dropped another 60 burger trying to get them to this position. So yeah, I think he's going to drop 50 to 60 points to get them into that number 8 seed.
So I'll be honest, like the 9-10 is the hardest part. I think I honestly think either way, Boston and Washington are making it, but that 9-10,
it's gonna be a good one.
Close, man.
I'm gonna say the Pacers, and the only reason why I say the Pacers is just because there's so much youth on that Charlotte team that I don't know that they would be able to get over the hump. I know it's just one game, so it's different than like a series. If it was a series, I think we'd be more leaning towards Pacers because of that experience versus the Hornets. But with one game, that they have a better opportunity. But that's the only reason why I'm picking the Pacers is because of lack of experience on Charlotte's end. But if Lonzo if Melo go Melo, it might not even matter. Right. So I'm gonna pick with not much confidence, but I'm gonna pick the Pacers to win that game. So they'll end up playing Boston in that play-in and the final play-in for the AC. But I have Boston ultimately winning and getting the AC. So I have Washington winning the 7th seed and Boston winning the AC. Not a whole lot of confidence in that, to be honest with you. But I'm just leaning towards, man, Brad Stevens. You can't exactly. You gotta make the playoffs, dude. Like
you got to.
If y'all miss the playoffs, we gotta talk about who will be the next coach, because losing Jaylen Brown is not enough for y'all to fall out, because y'all were already free falling with him in the lineup, so you can't use that as an excuse to explain the lack of production. So I think he's gonna be on the clock if they don't make it out of this play-in tournament.
I had put on Twitter the other day that I need for Boston to be bad enough to where Dallas have a shot at Jalen, Kemba, or Marcus Smart. Because I know they're not going to give up Jason, especially once they get a taper, but at least get one of the other ones. So.
We'll take Jalen. We'll take Jalen Brown.
I'll be honest, Marcus from DFW, so I wouldn't mind taking him and just having that defensive anchor and
that dog.
That be Luka's bodyguard type of thing. We was hoping for Dan Johnson, so I'm not mad at that at all. So come on, Marcus. Yeah,
exactly. Come on.
You gotta do something with your hair though. But anyway, main event of the evening, fellas. This is gonna be the moment right here.
Yeah.
So let's switch gears and head to the Western Conference. So the Western Conference seeds are as follows. We got the Lakers in the 7th seed, Golden State in the 8th seed, which is another one like the Wizards, who would have thought that 3 months ago?
Right.
9 seeds, the Memphis Grizzlies, and then the 10th seed, the San Antonio Spurs, who just keep hanging around somehow. So we'll start with Thomas again. I'm gonna hold off on the 7-8 for right now, because that's 9-10 in the evening.
Yeah.
So let's handle the other business first, and let's go 9-10. So we got the Memphis Grizzlies going up against San Antonio Spurs. Who you have winning that matchup?
First, I want to say that if you're a basketball fan, the Memphis and Spurs going against each other, it take you back to the grit and grind days with Zach and Marcus. Then you got Tim down there. You got Tony trying to go against Mike Conley Jr. Just the teams, playing like that. We know they both younger now. But I give it to Greg, at least getting them back somewhat in the playoff contention this year because they wasn't there last year, whatever.
Right.
But if I just look at rosters, and I'll be honest with you, I mean, it's Grizzlies. I think Grizzlies gonna take this. I think Ja gonna be too much for him. I think this is gonna be one of those another breakout games, and he gonna finish it off with a crazy dunk on somebody. So I'm gonna pick the Grizzlies hand down.
Okay.
On this one, I'm gonna pick the Grizzlies. San Antonio, even though he wasn't giving them but 10 and 7, they don't got LaMarcus Aldridge. I know they got Rudy Gay. They got some other people. They got Patty Miller. Some other people I don't know about.
Yeah.
So, but they close to being in the playoffs. But I'm gonna give it to Ja. I think this would be a big step in him going in the right way if they could win this and at least get try to get if they to be the number 8 seed. So I'm gonna give it to the Grizzlies easily.
All right, Will.
Yeah, I'm going with the Grizzlies. I feel like that the talent they got more talent than what San Antonio has right now. So even with that, if the talent was closer, then I think Popovich would be able to master something up to where they'll be able to pull it out. But I just think it's just too much talent on Memphis side. And yeah, I think Ja gonna Steph showed him up on the last game, held him to like 16 points. Steph went for 46, beat him by like 12 or something like that. So this is Ja's opportunity to be like, yo, I gotta get back to get another opportunity if it's possible to try to get back at Steph. So the only way to be able to do that is to win this game. So yeah, I think Memphis going to come out. Ja's going to come out balling, show that he's ready for the stage moving forward. So.
Yeah, I'm picking the Grizzlies as well. I think this is a show and prove for Ja. Because y'all remember last year, they were in that position to make the playoffs.
Yeah, it was close.
They leaped them over in that last game in the regular season. So I think
that's because the Grizzlies also lost all their games in the bubble. I think they
were
horrible.
They
lost 7 games.
They had lost. What's his name got hurt?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
So I think that was the issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
So but I think this one was one of those like, all right, bro, like you gotta show us what you got. And it's not to say that he don't have it, because I think he does have it.
He does.
But this is the stage right here to be able to prove it when everybody's watching. And it's like
this is where legends are made.
There's no game on but this game. Like they got this time slot to themselves to prove it. Everybody's gonna be watching this because they want to know who's gonna end up playing the loser of the 7-day game. So this is the opportunity to show them prove. And we know Memphis is not on TV that much from a national TV perspective. So I think having this kind of spotlight is a golden opportunity for him to show what he's got, what he's made of. And the last time they were on national TV, like you said, Steph took his lunch. So now you got an opportunity to show him prove and to say, hey, we do belong here. I agree that if the talent was more even, you may go with San Antonio, because I don't even know Memphis's coach's name. I don't even know who he is. So to go up against Pop, I don't know the dude's name, but I'm sure Pop got the advantage over him. So but because there's such a discrepancy in talent, which is like, if there is a guy to make up for that discrepancy, it's Pop, right? So I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think when it's time to cash in the chips at the end of the game to see who got it, I'm picking Ja to take over and to be that guy that's gonna put them over the top. So it's clean sweep for all three of us. I think Memphis wins that game, but they gotta play whoever loses this next game.
It's gonna be a booger each, no matter who it is.
They get their lunch taken. Anyway,
right.
So the 7-8 seed, or the 7-8 game, has got the Los Angeles Lakers as a 7 seed going up against the Golden State Steph Curry's that's in the 8 seed. So I'll let our guest of honor Tom pick who he feels like is gonna come out of that game on top.
Ooh-wee.
So I want to say, I just want to let everybody. First of all, I'm a Kobe fan. Number one, I always just want to say that. I'm a Kobe fan. I usually have my backdrop on. I'm a Kobe fan. But this let y'all know how valuable LeBron is to a team.
Take your time.
That that they had all those wins, right? Now, mind you, they just won 5 straight, but they fall to the 7th seed without him. And I'm gonna say that LeBron, because AD was giving us trash basketball all year. I'm just being honest with
you. It wasn't the same as last year, that's for sure.
He was. Yeah. He was giving us trash basketball all year. Yeah. And so I think in this game, I think the Lakers still have one of the, if not the top defensive rating. They even them falling to the 7th seed, they still either 1 or 2 on the top defensive rating. Don't get it twisted. Nobody's going to stop Steph. We know that. But in their defense, even if you put Draymond on LeBron and slow him down, if you want to say, but if AD just give you a casual 20 and 10, it's nothing you could do. There's nothing you could do. And then if we talk about bench, Motrell coming off, THT, Caruso, it's nothing you could do. I think the Lakers. I think overall the Lakers be too much for him. I think Steph still have a wonderful game. I think Draymond still might have a low triple double. You know what I'm saying? It might be 10, 10 and 10. But I think overall the Lakers might be too much for him. I think it'll be a high scoring game. I for some reason I think it's going to be a high scoring game, and this is where we're gonna have to say, oh, LeBron ankle, he's gonna have to wrap that joke up and go. AD bad knees, legs. AD got bad everything. He 100% disability right now. He's gonna have to play.
He's not used to a deep playoff run.
Yeah, Schroeder gonna have to.
He used to be hurt. He used to be hurt.
Right. Schroeder gonna have to give you a nice 14-15. I think this is a game that KCP is gonna have to be open and make those shots, because the only people the Warriors really have is Green and Curry. And I can't say who they got. What's the other? Not Wiggins. Is it Wiggins?
Yeah, Wiggins is
there. Andrew Wiggins. Yeah, he's there.
I mean, it's tough.
To be fair, he's been balling lately. Like he's been a nice little therapy.
Yeah. We'll put him. It's a toss up. We'll put THT on him, Caruso. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so, but I think overall talent wise, I think Lakers will be too much for him. I think it'll be a high scoring game with Steph going for at least 40, trying to keep him in there. Yeah. But I think, believe it or not, just like LeBron and AD, Steph Lee's gonna have to take a 2-minute break, and within those 2 minutes, ain't no more offense on the floor. Ain't no more offense in the game, low key. Yeah. Ain't no offense, and Lakers are gonna go deep on the inside with AD, LeBron, Harold, and there's nothing they could do. So I got Lakers, man. I got Lakers.
All right, Will.
Yeah, I got Steph going for a 62 in this one. Just trying to keep his team in it, especially if Wiggins don't show up and help. But now it's gonna be high scoring. It's gonna be a fun one to watch. Just like Thomas was saying, deep bench is gonna be the difference, or a big difference between LA being able to pull this out, because for Steph, he only break he can get is the 30 seconds at the end of the first quarter, minute and a half at the end of the second, or actually at the beginning of the second quarter,
right?
And then 30 seconds going into at the end of the third quarter, and then play the whole fourth. That's the only break he can get. Yeah, that's
he got 4 minutes, so 48.
Exactly. That's how he can get out to be able to pull this one out. Just because they just don't have as much talent to be able to support. Because if Clay was here, then it would be that much better. It'd be much easier to do. But it's gonna be fun. But I agree. I think LA gonna be able to pull this one out. Especially with LeBron playing a good portion of the last game of the year, being able to get everything just situated, get going. Basically, that playoff prep, since he was out for so much of the back half of the season. And then if AD just show up and just feel like, and actually had some like icy hot on, I think he can give you a good
He good.
25. Yeah, a good 25-12.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what y'all think about this potential situation. So Thomas, I'm sure you saw, I don't know if you saw, Will, towards the end of the game that they just played, LeBron kind of tweaked his ankle again a little bit. He stepped on Alexander Walker's foot and it kind of rolled on him a little bit. And so he came out the game and then come back. I'm curious to see if they say, you know what, we'll let this first game go. Because if we lose this game, we still got opportunity to play whoever wins between 9 and 10.
Yeah.
Right.
So they potentially say, hey, Golden State, y'all got it. Y'all can have this game. Give LeBron an extra day of rest. Give AD an extra day of rest. And feel confident enough to say, I don't care who wins out of 9-10, we're going to beat them.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, and having Utah as the 1 seed means they would play Utah in the first round. And they would beat Utah. I don't think anybody really, if they're at full strength, they can beat Utah in a 7-game series. So I'm curious as to see if they would consider that and say, we're going to rest or at least give them limited minutes in this game against Steph and them and see what happens with that. Because they may prefer to have health over seeding to where they may look at it as it makes more sense for us to make sure our guys are ready to play than to go all out for the 7 seed and then have LeBron re-aggravate his ankle or have AD just walk out on the court and sprain his knee. Like, I'm just curious if they look at that. Because do y'all see that as a potential possibility?
Jay, listen. That is, man, listen, that is a sweet thought. But listen, you picking the wrong.
With fire.
You picking the wrong LA team to do something like that.
They're
not the Clippers.
That's fair,
right?
That's fair.
Right?
That's
LeBron.
fair.
I'm gonna put it like this: if LeBron could play, I don't care what nobody say about him. He is going to play. If his ankle's at 75%, LeBron is gonna play. His ankle got to be to a point where no, I can't play. Even those last games, even though they set out, they knew they could beat the teams, right? But his ankle probably won 75%.
Yeah.
Because even though he stepped on a boy's foot, the game before that, in that beginning of the games, he was coming down hard on dunks, going so fast that when after he dunked, he slid on that ankle. So his ankle, the only way he injured, like you say, he stepped on somebody's foot. So I don't think that way for them, because knowing his mentality, knowing just LeBron's mentality, just saying, no, we're gonna play. Just not something like this, even though he hate to play in or whatever the case may be, something like this, because something could happen where they say, nah, we're gonna rest them, and then Memphis or San Antonio, whoever it is, come back and beat the brakes off of them. You know what I'm saying? Because it could just twist like that.
It can happen.
It come down to
the bad shooting night, or whatever.
Yeah, it can come down to the last shot, and John got the ball, or Patty whoever got the ball. Or Coach Pop can say, you know what, man, we finna just swarm y'all, and nothing they could do. It just be one of those games where every team has is nothing they could do. So I don't think they want to test it like that. Again, I think you're picking the wrong LA team.
That's fair.
The Clippers, yes.
That's fair.
Yes.
Absolutely.
The Lakers, no.
That's fair.
That's just my thought.
I'm just curious. I thought about that earlier. I'm like, if they know they're gonna play another game, like if it was do or die, like I know there ain't no question, like they're gonna play. But if they had that fallback game, I'm like, But nah, you're right. It is the wrong LA team. Clippers, they would be like, oh, we ain't playing Kawhi in the 7-8 game.
Exactly.
Give him extra day of rest. We'll do that. So yeah, I would with that food thought being said, I'm gonna go with the Lakers as well. I hate it because I want to see Steph in the playoffs just to see, because the top of the West is so weird this year. We're having Utah and Phoenix and 1 and 2. It's like, is there a possibility that one of these 7 or 8 teams can get high and knock them off? Obviously, Lakers are definitely one of those teams that that could potentially do that. But I'm curious as to see if somehow the Lakers got 7 and Golden State got 8. Could they knock out 1 and 2 in this? You know what I mean? Like, I would love to see that, but the way it's set up, you ain't gonna have that. Well, you could potentially if Golden State wins 7 for some reason, and then the Lakers come back and win 8, vice versa. So it could still happen, but I think 7-8. I go with I go with the Lakers on that one. So with that being said, we all had the Grizzlies winning the 9-10 matchup. So that means we would now see the inverse if that were the case. So we got Golden State going up against Memphis. Tom, what you got?
I'm gonna go to State. I think, I'm gonna go to State. I think Steph had a good year without being in the playoffs, and so I think this is per se one of his redemption type of years. And he said, "Listen, man, everybody don't think I can control the team. Everybody think I need whatever it is, and so that's why those numbers are where they are. And he's supposed to be tired. When you are the star, you're supposed to be tired. You're supposed to be drained. You're supposed to whatever. But you always got to have a little bit left in your tank, no matter what. All those 40, like you said, out of 48 minutes, you're only gonna get a good 4 minutes plus halftime.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
it.
he gonna get a good 20 minutes rest total for a 48 minute, and playing 15-minute spurts.
Outside of the timeouts.
Timeouts, 30 seconds, maybe a minute timeout, you know what I'm saying? Or commercial break, whatever they want to call it, right? So I think Steph is gonna he gonna take this game personal. Although he would love to win that 7th spot, I think it'll be closer for him to play Phoenix than it would be Utah. I think Utah overall would probably be too much for my opinion for Golden State. But I think it's gonna be Steph, man. Ja gonna put up good numbers again.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Steph.
So agree. Just to be clear, like the way it's set up, Utah's a 1 seed. So if Golden State win, that's who they will have in the first round.
Yeah.
That's gonna be. We're gonna see a Utah for real if they ends up being.
Yeah, exactly.
That's gonna be a litmus test for real.
Yeah.
Will, what you got, bro?
Yeah, I agree. I think that Steph is gonna. They're gonna end up losing that first game against the Lakers. Lose to a better team, but Steph not gonna let them lose back-to-back games with a chance to go into the playoffs. That's just not gonna happen. He's gonna ball out. I feel like he's just gonna ball out at both of them. I think because the big thing, I think he's gonna push. They're gonna throw everything they can in that 7-8 game. Because you get that rest before the playoffs start, so that's going to be huge trying to get to that rest, and then but unfortunately they won't be able to get that rest or that extra rest before the playoffs start. But yeah, I got Ja. He's going to try to redeem himself after this last game against Golden State. Which, like I said, he's got something to prove, so that he's ready for the big stage, ready for the playoffs. So where legends are made. You got to can't just do work in the regular season and not show up in the playoffs. You got to show up in the playoffs one way or another. So I think this is his opportunity to take a step forward. As far as for the big games going into the playoffs. So unfortunately his team won't win this one, but he will show up.
Yeah, I feel like if he shows up in both those games, like that's enough. I mean, we can't expect him to end up beating Golden State on the tear Steph's on. It's just firepower. They have the defense to slow him down, not to stop him, but to slow him down. But I just don't think they have enough outside of what Ja provides offensively to be able to go over the hump. Because if Steph go for 50,
you can do.
I knew you can do.
You can, So looks like we kind of agree on all the
West.
Yeah. So shout out to Daryl. We held you down. Don't. We ain't no Laker haters and nothing like that. So I wish you could get on, but I hope you're feeling better, man. But we have the Lakers winning 7 seed and the Golden State Warriors winning the 8 seed. So we won't get into predictions in terms of the playoff series yet. When we have the band back together, we will definitely do that. So we hope to get that this week to have that in you guys' YouTube channel before the actual playoffs start. If it won't be before, it'll be on the same day. So be on the lookout for that. So I would like to obviously say thank you to Thomas, man. Appreciate you stopping in.
Appreciate it.
Anytime.
Until next time for sure, Will. You already know what it is.
Yeah, bro.
Appreciate you guys as always. like and subscribe to the Glow Sun Production YouTube channel. Leave comments. Let us know what you want to see. We appreciate all the feedback. And again, thank you guys for watching. And we are out.
All right.